Hi everybody, welcome to Exploring Foods with Smitty. Well, you know, every time I make a dish, I've got a story behind it. So, the story behind this dish is they're cookies, and they're called Happy Face cookies. If you're from Bakersfield, California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I got the recipe from someone online who lives in that area, and I thought, you know what? What better time to try them than right now when the new year is getting ready to come in and we all want to be happy. So, let me get my things together, and when I come back, we're going to be making the copycat of Smith's Happy Face cookies. We'll be right back. You know, I'm excited for this one because I'm always trying to get somebody to bring me these cookies from California, and they always forget. But, ha! Okay, so with this recipe, you're going to use a cup of butter. And to that butter, I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Now, you want your butter to be very soft, but with the way this weather's been going, I don't know if I can. It's been out 2 days, and I don't think it's soft enough, but we'll see. So let's put in a cup of sugar. There we go. And then I'm going to add an egg because you want to cream your butter, sugar, and your... Let's go ahead and throw that in. Okay, now let's see if I can get this to cream together like it should. Only because, like I said, the butter is... I've left it out for 2 days and it doesn't seem to be very creamy. Let's see what we do here. Okay, so I did finally get it to cream together. So what I'm going to do is add a tablespoon of vanilla. Now with these cookies, because I don't want any color in them, I'm going to be using clear vanilla, which Watkins has clear vanilla. And then we have this baking vanilla. And it's all the same. More people use clear vanilla because of when they're making frostings. Spoon of vanilla in. And like I said, it's all good vanilla. If you're a baker, this is the vanilla for you. Okay, so let's put that there. Put in our vanilla. Ooh. And it smells so good. I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. All of that's mixed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get together our dry ingredients because we want to mix our wet ingredients first and then add our dry ingredients. Okay, so for our dry ingredients, we're going to be using 3 cups of flour, in which I'm going to put it into a separate bowl. That's 1 cup. It's 2 cups. And then we're going to put in our final 3rd cup. Like so. Okay. Baking powder, which is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now the reason why you want to add this separate like this is because you want to incorporate your baking powder into your mixture. You want to incorporate your baking powder into your flour mixture before you add it to your other. So let's go here. That's 1. And that's 2. Okay. So to get that all mixed up, I'm going to take a whisk. I'm just going to whisk it together to make sure it gets totally mixed. Okay. So, to this, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing this with my sugar and butter. So I'm going to add a cup at a time. And I'm going to mix. Now remember, you may want to do it this way so you don't get flour face before you start mixing it, and flour goes everywhere. So I'm going to add more flour. Mix it around so we don't have flour face. Okay. And then I'm going to add the rest of my flour. Do another. Now to me this dough seems kind of stiff, but we'll see. Okay, so when I come back, we're going to be rolling this out so that we can do the cutting of the cookies and put it into the oven. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my cookie batter all worked up, and to me the cookie batter was a little stiff. When you've made cookies quite a while, you know when batter is too stiff, so I thought that was a little too stiff. So what I did is I added some milk to it to make it less stiff, and then it came together just fine. So what I'm going to do is roll this out. You don't want to roll it too thin, and you don't want it to be too thick. So I would say this is about a ½ inch. Okay. Okay. It's my cookie cutter, because I think I'm going to need more than just one. Okay, and it doesn't say to spray, but I'm going to spray. Just a little bit. There we go. So, what I'm going to do is cut my cookies out with my cookie cutter. You guys don't even know how excited I am to be making these, because every time someone goes to Bakersfield, which is where the bakery is that makes these, I never get any back. So I thought, when I saw this recipe on Facebook, I thought, oh my God, I can make my own cookies now. But we'll see. Let's see how they come out. That's going to be the big test right there. Okay, so I'm going to take my dough and I'll put it back in a ball. And I'm going to continue to cut these out until I get all of my dough cut. And then when I come back, we'll be putting it in the oven. Okay, so as you can see, I have my cookies all rolled out and ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put them in the oven and cook them for no more than, it's at 10 minutes. So I'll get back to you when they're done. Okay, so I just took them out of the oven and they seem to be doing really good. I made one like this because I wanted to be able to taste it. It's nice and brown on the other side. Very good. So when we come back, we'll be finishing these up. Okay, so the cookies have been cooked. They're nice and browned and cooling. So now we're going to start with the frosting for them. So let's go ahead and open up our bag of sugar here. There we go. So that's 1 cup I put in already. It's 2. It's 3. And that's 4. Okay, so this says to use 9 cups of sugar, but I'm pretty sure that's a little much. So I'm going to use the 4 cups of sugar. And to that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. Okay, so I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. So let's go 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. Okay, so that's 1. Let's make sure we get all that in. That's 2. My neighbor's horn keeps going off. Okay, and that's 3. Now, one thing about these cookies, they're not really sweet. So if the frosting is a little sweet, that's okay, because that's going to take up the sweetness. Okay, so that's my 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. And then I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract. Let me get that. Okay, so I'm going to add my almond extract, which is 1/4 teaspoon. Let's see if I have a 1/4 teaspoon. Yeah, there we go. So this is my almond extract. I have like tons of flavorings, not just vanilla, but all kinds. So I have to sift through to make sure I get them all. Okay, so there's my almond extract. And then what I'm going to do is add yellow food coloring. Since it is a happy face cookie, let's hopefully I have enough. Okay, I'm going to add some water. Not a lot. And I'm going to stir. Now, one thing, if your batter is too stiff, you just keep adding water until it's your consistency, as you can see. And you can do these any color you like, but because of the recipe that I'm making, I'm using yellow, because that's the color that they make of these cookies where I come from. I'm going to put my cookies in a bowl, so when I dip them, I can set them on my cookie sheet here to dry. And they came out nice and thick, the way they should be. Let's put them all in. And believe me, I've had a couple of them already, and they're good. These all in here so that I can start the dipping process. There we go. Now let me try dipping one. It almost works easier to dip. do another one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get all of these cookies dipped and onto my cookie sheet here so that they can harden. And then when we come back, we'll be putting on our happy face. Okay, so my happy face cookies are almost ready. All that's left for me to do is to put the happy faces on it. So I'm going to let these set a minute, and then when I come back, I'm going to be adding the happy face on, and we're going to be tasting us some cookies. Okay, so I'm starting to put the eyes on, and what I did is I used a plastic snack bag, and I'm just squeezing it out of the little hole that I cut at the bottom. They're not perfect, but neither is anyone else's eyes. So this is how it's looking, and when I come back, we'll be working on, let me give you a peek, we'll be working on the smile. This is my happy face cookies. No, they're not perfect like Smith's, but I'm sure they're going to taste just as good. So what I'm going to do is let these set, and then when I come back, we're going to be trying one of these cookies with some nice cold milk. Okay, so I finished my cookies. They're still setting and drying, but I couldn't help but taste one. So what I'm doing is tasting the maddest looking one right here. He looks kind of mad. So let's give it a taste. Very good. Nice and soft, like the ones at Smith's. The almond flavor and the frosting, oh man, that just brings out the whole cookie. And to have it with a glass of milk. Ah, perfect. So thank you for joining me on Exploring Foods with Smitty as we make the new year happy with happy face cookies. Give it a try. I had to tweak the recipe a little bit because some things didn't come out right. But other than that, they're very good. Smith's, give me a call. Till the next video, Happy New Year.